Look at
Let's
it.
talk about his mentality on defense, because I figure like that's the issue. Just don't make this a weight thing and try to throw us off the subject. He needs to learn how to play some damn defense and not get isolated and picked on. That's the issue with him.
Every single summer, it's the same story. Luka Doncic is now entering the best shape of his life. And every single time, by October, that hype dies down and everyone forgets all of it ever happened. At this point, we've had enough Skinny Luka off-seasons to make a Netflix documentary out of it. Or at least a video and a short, as I've done already. I didn't believe it the last 3 years, and here's why this year might be the last to give it any consideration. Let's go through the timeline for a second, just to be clear about how consistent this pattern really is. 2021 Tokyo Olympics go by, Luka reportedly gets so out of shape that he weighs 30 pounds more than he was originally listed, blowing up to 260 pounds. Then in 2022, in preparation for the Eurobasket with the Slovenian national team, this photo came out and Skinny Luka was born. Another photo of Luka with a fan went viral and everyone thought, oh wow, this might be the year. Well, it wasn't. Then 2023 rolled around and there was that now infamous pic where people debated whether it was real or just cleverly photoshopped, and then this video of him running some stairs. Finally, in 2024, once again we got off-season photos of Luka looking sharp and the same headlines followed. Luka's taking the summer seriously, peak shape, focused like never before. And yet, every time it unraveled once the season got going. Now we're in 2025 and guess what? He's back in the news for looking skinny again. The difference this time is that he just got traded to the Lakers for being quote-unquote fat. And of course, the expectations, the spotlight is even brighter in Los Angeles. 4 days after the Lakers season ended, Luka reportedly flew to Slovenia and started training. No basketball, just conditioning, a new diet, and a different approach. We've even got quotes from Slovenian media confirming it. Guided workouts, reshaped routines, visible changes, early progress. And yeah, when he showed up at that Real Madrid game, he did look slimmer. But again, we've seen this movie before. And honestly, this offseason should be the one where he finally gets serious about it. Let's be honest, he got traded in a humiliating fashion. The Mavericks just let him go. The guy who was supposed to be the face of their franchise was moved with public comments that basically said, "We're not sure we can win with Luka." I mean, Nico Harrison didn't sugarcoat it and actually doubled down. He called out Luka's defense, his effort, his attitude, and even questioned whether his style of play could lead to a championship. Even if it doesn't reflect the actual reasoning for the trade, those are legit pieces of criticism towards Luka. And for someone like Luka, who's as emotional and prideful as anyone in the league, that could have bruised the ego and made him want to prove everyone wrong. So then we had those couple of months with the Lakers. They got bounced earlier than anticipated, and honestly, every defensive possession looked like an open invitation to attack Luka. Whether it was switches, pick and rolls, or simple ISOs, he was hunted non-stop. Fans weren't quiet about it either. Social media lit up with these same old fat jokes, clips of him getting blown by, and questions about whether he even cares about playing defense. Which brings us to right now. Another summer, another fresh start, another supposed transformation. But even with all these reports, even with all these signs, I just struggle to buy in. Because nothing in Luka's track record suggests this is going to last. We've literally seen him do the exact same thing. Get in shape for international play, dominate in a summer tournament, and then show up to NBA camp completely out of rhythm and overweight. Even if he plays well at this year's Eurobasket, that doesn't mean anything for November. In fact, it might be even worse in terms of long-term conditioning. The physical demand of a FIBA tournament isn't the same as the NBA, and it doesn't prepare you for the grind of a full 82-game season. What happens when he pushes himself too hard for his national team in August/September, then takes a break, comes back to the US, and resets his habits once again? We've seen that version of the cycle too. Luka thrives in the summer, then crashes back into the regular season sluggish and behind the pace. He has admitted as much himself. After the Olympics, he relaxed too much and couldn't recover in time for the NBA. Now, some people want to believe it's different because now he's around LeBron. And look, I get that, and maybe that's where my hope for it actually increases too. LeBron is the ultimate example of what it means to treat your body like a career investment. He has spent millions on recovery, training, and nutrition, and keeps doing it every year. All the while, he's still playing at an elite level at 40 years old. It's insane. But it's not just about the money or the access, it's about the mindset. The discipline, the constant maintenance of routines that never slip, even in the offseason. That's the gap Luka has never closed. He doesn't need LeBron's body, he needs LeBron's mindset. And that's not something you adopt overnight just because you're on the same team. If Luka really wanted to follow that example, he could have done it years ago. I mean, LeBron's been setting that standard for decades now. What makes this situation even more frustrating is how clear the consequences are. Luka's not just a bad defender because he's lazy. He's a bad defender because he can't physically keep up. His lateral movement is terrible. He gets beat off the dribble almost immediately. He's slow to rotate, slow to close out, and just not built to recover when things go wrong. And it's not just about the size, it's reaction speed, footwork, explosiveness. He struggles with every basic component of NBA defense. And that creates a problem across the entire system. Then his teammates have to overhelp, defensive schemes get stretched thin, and opponents go mismatch hunting every possession. So don't get this wrong, it's not a Luka problem, it becomes a team problem. And when the guy getting targeted is also your offensive hub, well, that's a nightmare scenario. You can't afford to sit him, but also you can't fully protect him, so there's nowhere to hide. Look, even with better conditioning, Luka isn't going to become a great defender. That's not what this is about. This is about whether he can go from actively harmful to survivable. That's the bar, and even then, that only happens if he maintains the physical improvement for the full season, not just for the first few months. The Lakers' current roster isn't really built to protect him either. They don't have an elite defensive backcourt. They don't have a prime rim protector. And they don't have the kind of versatile switch-heavy lineups that can just erase a weak link. That means unless Luka improves on his own, there's only so much you can do tactically. And that's scary when you're tying your championship hopes to someone who, at best, might be slightly better at defense for the first time in his career. What's also wild is that we've seen players like Jokic, who also lacks elite foot speed, find ways to survive on defense. And survive is probably not the right word to use right now, but I feel like it's not only about him improving his conditioning. He also mastered positioning, anticipation, timing. He compensates with IQ and effort. Luka has as much IQ, if not more, but on defense that sharpness just disappears. Maybe it's effort, maybe it's pride, maybe he just hates that side of the game, I don't know. But it hasn't been there, and I don't think a few treadmill sessions in Slovenia are suddenly going to change that. From the Lakers' perspective, this is a gamble with huge implications. Right now their roster isn't set up to cover for Luka's weaknesses. If they don't make major moves and he shows up out of shape again, they're looking at another first-round exit at best. And the harsh truth, they don't have much time to waste as LeBron's window is closing fast. He might still be great, but no one knows for how much longer that will last. If the next season is the last year LeBron can carry a team at this level, then this is it. This is their shot. And I get the temptation to believe that Luka can just flip the switch. That maybe finally he'll come into the training camp locked in, motivated, slimmed down, and ready to carry his end of the bargain. But until he shows us he can stay in shape for a full 82-game season, not just summer, not just through Eurobasket, not just for October, November, December, I'm just not going to buy the hype. So to conclude, I do hope that Luka shows up to Lakers camp in the best shape of his life and plays defense like he actually cares. But if it's the same BS we've seen many times, I will never talk about it again. Now you let me know in the comments. Do you actually believe it this time around? Drop those thoughts down there, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and as always, subscribe for more NBA takes through an overseas lens.